guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This guy is 31 years old. He's from Poland. He's been married for a few years now, has a 2.5-year-old child, and up until, I guess, a couple of years ago, he had a pretty good life going, and then it seems his wife's true colors came out, or she completely lost it. Turns out his wife has a eating disorder, major problem there, and also she's become quite the drinker. And you put that all together with her attitude, and it's a bad situation. And it's just so bad that he's at a crossroads now, wondering whether he should stay in the marriage, obviously for his son, because he doesn't want to potentially lose custody and all that, or end it and start over. Now, it'd be great one to go over here, guys, making the point that there's a point for a lot of guys out there that are married when enough's enough. And it gets just so bad that not only is the wife's actions, who may have problems like drinking and drugs and all that, not only does it affect you, but it's also going to affect your kids. At that point, then, you got to take the step forward, the risk of ending the marriage and moving on, because otherwise staying in that situation is going to be awful for you, awful for your kid or kids, and you have to go for it. And you need to embrace help wherever you can get it, friends, family, and all that. So I'm going to go through this, and hopefully we can help this guy out. And by the way, guys, you may be hearing the thunder out there. Hopefully it doesn't start a downpour here, so I'm going to try to get through this video before, Armageddon comes here. So it starts off, says here, hello SSM. As the title suggests, I've got the story to share with you. Whether you decide to post it or not, I totally understand, but if you do, please warm your arms up first. I'm likely earning quite a few slaps on how things have turned out. Actually, man, I can think of only one time really going to smack you, but besides that, your situation could happen to any guy. Well, let me start off by introducing myself. You can call me Pavel. Well, nice to meet you, Pavel. You can call me Clubber Lang. I'm a 31-year-old programmer from Poland, working for one of the big corporations with a local office in my city. Programming has always been my passion. I taught myself through online tutorials, creating small games, and experimenting with platforms like Coding Game. I did this all while studying medical bioengineering at university and flipping burgers part-time. Sweet, man. I'm glad you have a career in something that you love. It's very rare people get to do that. And you hear what he said, guys? How he taught himself along the way early on for fun? But he was also flipping burgers in college, like he had a job during college. I know it's hard for some people to imagine nowadays, but most of us that went to college or got some kind of training did a shit job during those years. For all you parents out there that think that your kids can't go to have a part-time job in college, wrong. They should. I had a vent there, because that bothers me. Now on to the real reason I'm writing you. My wife, whom I'll refer to as Claudia, she's also 31 years old, and we've been together since we were both 17 years old. Holy crap. So, high school sweethearts. We met in high school, initially just friends, as we were both in other relationships. But after I got dumped, we started flirting. I waited until she ended her relationship, and we officially got together in May of our first year. Since then, we've lived the full time lie here. We moved in together for university, first with other roommates and then on our own. We got engaged after 6 years and married after 8. We adopted a dog, bought an apartment, and after 12 years, had a child. Well, these numbers kind of jump around here a little bit, but the point is, he's known her a long time, okay? High school they knew each other, then they dated, and then exclusive, then eventually engaged. So it's not like he met her, and then 1 year later he's proposing, like a lot of these idiots out there. He really thought he knew her. Let me make that clear. On paper, it's a fairy tale, but reality has been much more complicated. And I never really talked about it before. Maybe it's pride, maybe shame, probably both. He also mentions, obviously, he had a child. Well, my man, as I'm sure you have learned, and many of you guys have learned as well, fairy tales are just stories for children and women. Claudia has struggled with eating disorders, anorexia, and bulimia since her early teens. Uh-oh. Things improved when we first met, but in recent years, those struggles have resurfaced. Badly. Right now, she weighs 81 pounds at 5'4". Whoa! Holy crap, man. Yeah, man, she's got problems. Really needs help. Now, I must say this. You said that she had these problems before you met. Um, these are things you should have paid attention to. You know, maybe she got under control for a while, but still, that's a lingering thing you should pay attention to. That alone has created a mountain of challenges, but there's more. In trying to cope with her food issues, she developed a dependency on alcohol. She drinks about 2 bottles of wine daily and justifies it because she purges in between. 2 bottles of wine for an 81-pound woman? Damn, dude, that's a problem. So we got the drinking problem, we got the eating disorders, and the drinking problem. Yeah, this is not good. Well, it started innocently, though. Wine, pizza, good vibes. But now it's a daily routine, and she will not eat unless she drinks. If I'm around, I'm expected to join her, or she guilt trips me for eating alone. I know it's wrong. We have a 2.5-year-old son, and one of us should be sober, but I've given in too often. Smack! Told you I'd smack you. That's smack worthy. Bro, if you don't want to drink, then you don't drink. Or eat a bunch of pizza and junk food and all that. You're doing it to appease her. What's that gotten you? It's made the situation worse. You're the husband. You're the leader. You need to lay down the law. This has got way out of hand. But like so many guys, you think the appeasement route, happy wife, happy life, would work. Look what happened here. You can't do that, man. Well, you may have noticed I'm not home every afternoon. I work remotely, but Claudia is a store manager and often works long shifts. Our parents help with childcare. At first, both moms pitched in, but after an argument between Claudia and her mom, my mom took over most of the support. To make things easier, I started staying at my parents' place a few days a week. Now I'm there 4 days a week, and honestly, I feel better. 4 days a week, you're away from your wife? Many men out there would dream about being away from their wives 4 days a week, but that's not good. And you haven't been married that long. This is a problem, man. We're not done yet. I spend real time with my son, going to parks, playground, helping him learn. I don't have to drink or eat poorly or pretend to be okay with it. My mental state is way better. My son loves being with his grandparents. My dad recently retired and has become his best buddy. Well, thank God for your parents. They're great. They're great with your son. And you're probably thinking, this distance must be hurting your marriage. But the truth is, we've been more like roommates for over a year. Actually, no. If we were just roommates, I wouldn't be expected to pay for everything, constantly sending money, or covering all the bills. It started to feel like she's just with me for the financial support and the child care. Well, you said she has a job, so why are you paying everything? Is this the situation where her money is her money and your money is, her money? Or our money or whatever? Oh yeah, smack. Shouldn't have gone along with that. Okay, 2 smacks for this story here. No, man, She's walking all over you. Again, obviously trying to keep the peace, and look where it's getting you. And yes, we have a dead bedroom. Yeah, I figured that. We have not been intimate since February. Okay, so it's September 4th today, so yeah, you're looking at like 7.5 months, give or take. Yeah, that's a while to go along without any pussy. Claudia has never been big on physical affection, but since our son was born, even hugs and kisses feel off limits. She pulls away, and since a fight in May, I've been sleeping on the sofa. And when I ask if we can fix things, she always says she prefers sleeping with her son. Dude, it's over. Don't waste your time. By the way, if you said she always been kind of not very affectionate, these are other things you should have paid attention to before you got together with her. Remember, guys, I tell you all the time, you got to really look for these things. These are signs. If she's got mental issues or other issues like eating disorders or drinking too much, these are things you pay attention to before you get serious with her. Or if you discover that when you're serious with her, you really consider whether you want to propose to her. And all of a sudden she's not very affectionate before you get married, I guarantee right here, it's going to drastically slow down or come to a screeching halt after you get married and have a kid. If you're wondering whether I let myself go, you're not wrong. I'm 6 feet tall and used to weigh around 260 pounds at my heaviest. About 1.5 years ago, I lost a lot of weight down to 196 through running and going to the gym. That's awesome, man. Good for you. But the return of our wine and pizza evenings, I'm back to 220 after losing the self-esteem, and I fought hard for. Smack. Okay, that's another smack. Yeah, you should, again, This is what happens. You go along with her plan. Lately, it feels like I'm bailing out a sinking ship with a bucket. Which brings me to where I'm stuck. I've been seriously considering divorce. What's holding me back? Two major things. Number one, I don't want to lose time with my son. And number two, I'm terrified I'll get crushed in court. I earn significantly more money than her, and I keep picturing myself as a failure for walking away. Brother, you're not a failure for walking away. She failed you. She failed your son. You've made mistakes. I've smacked you for them. You can feel them all the way in Poland from here in South Florida with all the fucking thunder around here. That thunder is somebody else smacking you. But you can change this. You can not change the marriage. You can change the situation, but I'll get to that. Here's the real kicker, though. I'm scared my son will grow up thinking our relationship is normal. That's how love is supposed to look. And I can't stand the thought of him repeating my mistakes. I know this email is long, but if you made it this far, thank you, and I don't expect sympathy, just honesty. Advice, a little roasting, I probably deserve it. Thanks again, Pavel. Well, my man, yeah, you made mistakes, but the mistakes you made are not any different than most guys out there. And guys, I want to point something out. He's in Poland. Most of you guys watching this are in the US of A. I know 2/3 of my viewers are from the US of A. This is over in Europe. Same crap, right? Pavel, it's over. You've tried. You really, really have tried. You've done things I disagree with, but you did what most guys did. The happy wife, happy life crap. Where's that gotten you? Gotten you gaining weight and being unhappy and a dead bedroom. It's over. I would have a talk with if it were me, what I would do is I would talk to your parents and say, okay, you obviously know mom and dad. This is a train wreck. It's over. Do you know any good lawyers? Okay, mom and dad, when I have her served, can I stay with you for the time being getting through this mess? Because it's going to be ugly. I'm going to need your love and support to get through this because it's going to be the hardest thing I have to go through. And I'm going to assume your parents will say yes. And if they say yes, I would certainly make it worthwhile for them, you back at home with them. Cook some meals, go grocery shopping, whatever you can to help out your mom and dad. And do whatever you can do to get through this. Find a good lawyer, find out all your options, and end this. And by the way, I don't know, Poland's obviously different than the United States, but any joint bank accounts or credit cards and all that, handle it accordingly. Don't let her clean you out. Don't let her rack up all these money on the credit cards if they're joints and stuff like that. Do that stuff in advance, okay? Listen to your lawyer. And then I would go through the process, And yeah, she may get your son part-time, but is the alternative any better? She's not going to change. She's got eating problems, drinking problems, the dead bedroom. I can go on, And it seems like you have tried. Like many men before you have tried, but there's a point it's over with. And the thing is, like I said earlier, it's not like you met her 1 year and then 1 year later you're proposing her and you're married. You've known her for a long time. You were friends in high school, then you dated, and then you were exclusive, then you lived together for a while, then you proposed, then you're engaged for a while, then you got married. So you really did think you knew the girl. Now, obviously, there were some things there that you knew that weren't too good to marry her, but that was done is done. But the point is, you spent some time with her. And still, look how much worse it got. So, brother, yes, you're not a failure for ending it. If anybody failed, like I said, it's her. You tried, okay? And if anybody wants to label you that, tell them to kiss your ass. And tell them that SSM said to kiss his ass too. And all the brothers out there, they're watching right now, they're telling them to kiss their ass too. So, guys, bro, end it. Do yourself a favor. And things will get worse before they get better, because that's just how it is, unfortunately. And if you think she's a pain in the ass now, wait till the freaking screeching heartbeat comes out once you serve her, because that is going to be full on, woe is me. But make sure you control the narrative. Let people know how you've tried. Friends, family, the mailman, everybody know what's going on here. And go from there. And it'll be harsh and horrible, but you will get through it. I've known people, I've known people in family who've gotten divorces and they weren't pretty. I got a friend going through this shit right now, and it ain't pretty. He's moving to Florida, which is awesome, from Massachusetts. But you'll get through it. You'll take the hit, and you'll figure it out. And then after a while, live with your parents, hopefully, and your son's there and everything. Because if you stay with her, it's only going to get worse. You've tried. And your son, yes, will start to think this is normal. I have witnessed families like this growing up, that the parents, it was ice cold and unhappy, and there's fighting, and the kid, and they stay for the kids, and then guess what? The kids end just like their parents. I know that's your fear, so do it for your boy. You're gonna be okay, and you got the supportive family. That's one of the best things. So guys, let this guy know what you think, and you guys been through this shit. Let him know any tips and suggestions for you guys that have been divorced, survived to tell the tale. He needs it. All right, guys, as ever today, be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. I just said that. And also, guys, you find a good story you want me to share, we got a personal story or a question to ask me, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good story or question or whatever, I will certainly cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Now, catch you next time.